I wanted to go along with me on my morning walk. Here I am in Beco do Batman. So this is the art here in São Paulo, Vila Madalena area. And hopefully someone will come on. I'm just on my morning walk, taking y'all with me. Lots of art out on the street already. It's only like 9:30 right now, 9:45. So I should walk all the way through, but I already did that. I'm gonna post a video showing a little bit more of Beco do Batman. But this is an area, like if you come out here and you want a tour, an art tour, we can do that. We can provide you with that. Sao Paulo is a city of lots of street art, lots of muraling, lots of just energy. On the weekends, this area, it's Monday morning, so it's super chill right now. But in the weekends, this area is lit with people, mostly out hanging out in the alley there where all the art and galleries are at. Listening to live music, hanging out. This is Vila Madalena. This is, again, one of the, I wouldn't say super upscale. There are upscale areas here, but it's, a little upper, like more middle class neighborhood. And it's fun. There's a lot to do here. A lot of samba, if you like samba, on the weekend. Well, from Thursday through Sunday, this whole area is lit with samba bands, live bands, and people just hanging out, going from one place to the next. One thing about Sao Paulo, it can get hilly, so you have to prepare for that. Lots of walking, lots of hills. But yeah, just wanted to show you a little bit of the city. You see, it's pretty much a good bit of trees. Some areas are straight jungly. My neighborhood has a lot of jungle around it, which I love. But this is how Sao Paulo goes. I mean, you get the nature, you get the art, you get lots of live music, vibes. If you're looking for somewhere to go, and I know a lot of people are, because of how weird the United States is, Sao Paulo is a good option. Lots of boutiques with cute shoes. Different boutiques. It's quiet right now, but this street on the weekend is where there's a lot of action, because there's just all the, like, up a block or two, and it's just nothing but bars and live music. Restaurants open all day and night. So, it is a city that doesn't sleep. There's always something to do. It's too much to do. I stay home mostly myself, but I do have some background exploring the city, so I could definitely offer a very interesting tour of the city from the expat point of view and from a holistic point of view, because I do live a pretty holistic lifestyle, and that requires, that you have access to very healthy food and, good ingredients, and, have access to all your things. So here in Sao Paulo, I've figured out how to do this in a holistic way. There's lots of practitioners that do different modalities here, lots of spas, lots of hot yoga and Pilates, a lot of the things that, so many of us are into right now in terms of trying to just get our health together. And what I love about Brazil is that the food is just natural. I'm not going to say there's not like some augmented weird stuff, but mostly when you go to shop for produce, it's normal produce. It tastes good. It has flavor. Brazil is a big country, and they really don't need to import a whole lot of, especially in the produce department, because of how much agriculture there is here. But, it's really good for just being able to come and have real food again. I know for a lot of people in the U.S., it's hard. Like, every time I come there, and I'm not there much, but when I'm there, I'm always in shock at how low quality the food is. Even if you buy organic somewhere like Publix or Kroger, whatever, especially if you're on the East Coast, the produce don't be tasting like nothing. And I'm someone who, I want good food. I want healthy food that tastes good, that has some nutrition in it still. One of the things about food that's shipped a long way is that it loses, after it's taken out of the earth, it loses its nutritional content very quickly. I used to be an organic farmer, and it was really important to us that it was very much like a farm to table thing where you were eating straight from the farm. So here in this area of São Paulo in Vila Madalena, we have like a couple of places where you can go and get all organic produce. You don't have to be, that's coming straight from a farm and not from that far away. So, the food is energized. It has nutrition, it has nutrients. So again, this is Monday morning, so it's not the best time to be out here to show you things, but also it's probably the safest time for me to have my phone out because, as many of you probably hear, petty theft is a big deal in Brazil. It's extremely common, and people snatch phones like nobody's business. Now, I haven't had it happen to me here, thank God, let me knock on wood, but I have had it happen in in Rio de Janeiro. I've had it happen to me in Bahia, in Salvador specifically. So it is a thing, especially of the cities. So if you were to come here, your biggest concern in São Paulo would be protecting your phone, making sure it's insured, making sure, that you're aware that you really shouldn't have it out like what I'm doing right now. Again, if it was the afternoon and it was super busy out here, I would not have my phone out. And so, as well as just, a lot of restaurants and things like that here, the neighborhoods that surround are very tree-lined, nice neighborhoods. This is a little bit more of an expensive area, but, if you have a job from the U.S., you probably could afford something here because obviously the currency exchange is what it is. It's not that high right now, but hey, sometimes goes way up 1 to 6. So right now we're about 1 to 5.7. So it's not that high, but with the currency exchange, mostly if you're earning US dollars, you can afford a place over here. It's certainly cheaper than pretty much anything you would find in any US city, right? And yeah, we're going to be offering these walking tours of the area. We'll do groups and individuals, private tours, whatever people want to experience. It's just a good place to check out as an option for places to live. Now, you have to be urbanized. You have to like the city energy, which ironically, I'm a country girl. I've been living in the country on St. Croix for years, mostly, and have always lived in very nature-esque places. So I'm really not a city girl, but this city somehow works for me. It works. I'm someone who really cherishes having quiet. And so I made sure to pick a neighborhood where I can live in quietude, So hold on, let me get across the street because they will run you down out here without even thinking about it. It's always good to figure out what your needs are before you try to plan a trip or a move abroad, think about what you desire, what you need. I know I need quiet. I can't live in the center of the city because it's too hustling and bustling, and that's 24/7. It pretty much never sleeps. So that for me doesn't really work. This is a couple miles out of the center of the city, and we get a little bit more peace out this way. I can sleep at night without having earplugs in, And so as we approach kind of the area that I live in, you'll see lots more bush and shrubs and trees. And that's what we like too, is to have some kind of nature energy around us. Me and my kids, we're just used to that. So it's hard to just be living in straight concrete. Yeah, so just on a little walk. Wanted to take you guys with me through town a bit. If you have any questions about moving out here, moving to Brazil in general, we've also lived up in Bahia in an area called Itacaré. And in Salvador, I love it up north. It's amazing. It's a little hard, like the international airport isn't that great up there, which I like to have access to a good airport. And, you know, it's harder to just, you can't get all your things as easily up north. But it's beautiful. Salvador is beautiful. Where we live in Itacaré is amazing. But you just have to know what you need. And then there's a lot of culture up there. So yes, there's a lot of activity and energy down here. But up there they have a lot of Afro culture, indigenous culture. So you have access to that if you're a culturalist and like all that, which I used to be heavy on that end of things. When I was living in Salvador, that was really satisfying that. But down here and at the age I'm at now, I'm less on the culture and the Afro-Brazilian culture vibe and more just needing certain things for my quality of life. And so I think we get what we need here in São Paulo. So again, making that checklist of, okay, what are my non-negotiables? What do I have to have for me to move to a place abroad? And, you know, one of the benefits of Brazil is you get a lower cost of living that gives you a high quality of life. You know, and that's one of the main benefits here. In America, you're paying for a huge cost of living and the quality of life is kind of sketchy. It's questionable. So that's why so many of us are in and out of the country so much, just trying to get out of there. But this is somewhere you can move. Pretty easy to get a little residency. You know, if you just follow the rules and get your paperwork done right. You can get a digital nomad visa if you work online. So there are some things that are very good about being here. So yes, I am going to wrap up this little live. I just wanted to take you guys with me a bit. I got to go into this spot right quick. But have a wonderful day, y'all.